Okay, once again, back in. Ladies and gentlemen, let's keep going.
Oakley dokley. All right, everyone. Let's put our thinking hats on. If we work together, we'll unravel this mystery for sure. Ready? On your marks, get set.
It's not a race, Cassidy.
Go!
Okay. Oh god, we're getting frame rate dips again. Looked a bit like we were, unless it just does that normally. Generator, Wolfenstein's odd smell, taser gun, shrapnel. It could be shrapnel or odd smell,
Why
because we've
did
not
the
talked about those
generator
yet.
blow up?
Could have just been an electrical fault.
So, a coincidence?
Is this the best situation? To be waving stuff off as a coincidence?
Did the killer throw something at the generator that made it explode?
Perhaps it's the fault of the taser gun? The electrical discharge it released might have connected with the generator and created an overabundance of energy,
Short
which
circuit?
caused everything in the circuit to pop.
Probably. There's no proof anything besides the taser was involved.
No, there is.
In that case, the generator blew up after Wolfie got shot with the taser.
Such a dastardly taser, leaving so many victims in its wake.
Okay, there was a bit of a frame rate dip there. No, I'm long past the point of falling for this surface level diversion. Are we suspecting Ava? Because she seems to be pushing this very hard, and she was there with us when we investigated in that boiler room. She surely would have seen things like the shrapnel and the extension cord. I was suspicious of Kai, then I was suspicious of Toshiko and Ingrid, now I might be suspicious of Ava as well. She's rigged something up. In reality, the truth is floating just within reach. Floating her in the water. I think it's the shrapnel.
Is this the best situation?
She's rigged up an explosive.
Did the killer throw something at the generator that made it explode? Perhaps it's the fault of the taser gun? The electrical discharge it released might have connected with the generator and created an overabundance of energy, which caused everything in the circuit to pop.
Okay, it's coming up.
Probably. There's no proof the taser was
I
involved.
knew it. Ava, what are you doing? Are you guilty? You're trying to cover for yourself?
Unfortunately, Ava, I have to disagree. You say nothing but the taser could have been involved in the murder. But there's one possibility you didn't consider. The shrapnel in the water.
You mean those bits of red metal which were floating around?
Right. The ones that look like the aftermath of an explosion. Due to their proximity to the generator, it's safe to assume the two are connected.
Can't that just be debris left by the generator?
Well, the generator itself isn't red, though. So it looks like they're from something else.
Except this debris is a
Yeah.
completely different color. It lacks the rust the generator has accumulated. We're obviously looking at the remnants of something else. Which means an object we haven't yet identified was caught in the explosion.
And floating near it was another out-of-place item. The extension cord. Was that sort of like the thing that delivered the electrical power? Needed to get it to blow? Because it said one end of it was burnt. Yeah, I think I know what it is. It's this. It's got to be, right?
This is it.
In the water was also an extension cord, half of which had been burnt away.
Did the cord get caught in the explosion?
Seems that cord has the misfortune of floating around the wrong place at the wrong time.
From what I saw in my investigation, the building's extension cord supply seems to be kept inside storage closet D.
D. So that was the one John was investigating, wasn't it? Let me just check the truth bullet again. Who was looking at D? Where was it? Storage closets. Yeah, Jean and Mark. Storage closet D. So that was what they were investigating, but that was the investigation. Obviously this would have had to be rigged up beforehand. Alright, okay. Just wanted to clarify that.
So in a way, yeah, it was definitely in the wrong place.
Storage closet D, huh? It was hard to make out much of it in the dark. And after the power came on, Kai came screaming for us to leave our closets.
He did. See, part of me still's a bit suspicious of him. Like, was he trying to direct people's attention away from things by doing that? Maybe. God, I've got about bloody 4 or 5 people now who I'm a bit wary of. Actually, you see, within that I was counting Mark, after I said earlier, but actually the direction this has gone in is now making me sort of move away from him. And Toshiko and Ingrid I'm still a bit unsure about. I'm wary of them, because technically there were periods where they were on their own, and therefore could have moved around and done things. But having said that, I don't know. My main focus of suspicion now is Kai and Ava.
But I do recall seeing some extension cords peeking out from behind a shelf.
Since we already know the killer raided one storage closet, anyone else willing to bet they raided this one too?
The hell did they need an extension cord for?
Probably something involving the generator, given its proximity to the cord.
Same thing with the red bits, even though we don't know what they are.
Right, the red shrapnel. Definitely isn't debris left by the generator, so what exactly is it? So far, nothing in the boiler room can be directly tied to the shrapnel, at least not any of the clues that have already been discussed in this trial. If I were to flip my thinking, consider clues we haven't discussed yet, more like the odd smell, because we haven't talked about that, chemicals, so something rigged up to explode. There's no proof what I have in mind is related to the shrapnel, but when all other options are ruled out, I can only turn towards the one that hasn't. The one thing the mysterious shrapnel might be related to, it's got to be the odd smell, right? Where is it? The one thing we've not talked about? This?
This is it.
Yeah, because there's nothing else.
Hold
Process
that
of
thought.
elimination.
We may be able to identify the shrapnel using context clues. During the investigation, there was a strange smell permeating the boiler room. It took me a moment to notice, but when I did...
Man, this has been such a great first proper murder trial for Project Eden's Garden. So many head scratchers and just little twists. Fantastic writing so far.
Well, the best way to describe the scent would be if you mix cereal and alcohol together.
Cereal and alcohol? Talk about specific.
Tis a sign a chemical reaction was at play.
Wait, you recognize the smell?
Chemical reactions can produce some pretty pungent odors. Usually something to the tune of alcohol mixed with cereal, or fruits, or eggs.
I mean, we did have a free time event with Jean earlier in the pharmacy where he was doing a little science experiment of his own. Hold on, let me just adjust my mic slightly. Sorry. Hopefully that didn't sound like I was buffeting people's eardrums out.
I noticed the smell going into the investigation, but it had completely slipped my mind until now.
Could it be a chemical reaction was caused by the taser?
The gun never touched the water. There's no reason for it to be the source of the smell.
What about the generator?
Considering the state of it, that generator would smell more burnt than anything else.
If the chemical reaction can't be explained by what we already know, like the generator or the taser gun, we need to consider the possibility that the explanation is the one piece of evidence still evading us, the shrapnel.
Can someone translate this into less complicated talk?
You have trouble keeping up there, Kai?
It was just a long-winded way of saying he's using process of elimination.
Elimination?
I know it sounds like a stretch, but if you follow this line of reasoning, a lot more questions start getting answered. Think about it. If the smell and shrapnel are linked, then whatever object the shrapnel belongs to must contain chemicals.
So we're looking for a metal object, which is also packed with chemicals?
Surely something like that would be kept inside the pharmacy.
Looking at my notes... When we originally visited the pharmacy, I recorded everything I saw. A bright red metal object would have definitely caught my eye, but I don't see one written here.
Were there paints, though, inside the pharmacy? Like the little shop area where the pachinko, the gachapon machine are. I could have sworn there were, but maybe I'm misremembering that.
I got lots of metallic objects in my dorm room. but nothing chemical. Just big old slabs of metal.
Big old slabs of metal. Why did metal even? Metal? Why does that sound so familiar? Hold on, that's right. What Ingrid said just now is similar to what she said the night everyone began bunking together. I guess this explain my room too, darling. It's littered with all sorts of fancy tools and medals. At the time, people were talking about their dorm rooms being themed around their talents. Could it be? Could the shrapnel actually be the remnants of the unique device that guy boasted about having in his... Wait, who? Who? Sorry, what? Shoot. This is a conversation we've had earlier and I've not remembered what it was. That's the problem with these kind of games, with Danganronpa stuff and Fangans. There's always so many details that happen before an investigation you have to try and keep track of. And you never know which one's going to be significant and which one won't be. Oh shoot. This will be something, of course, that I've not kept a tab on, because I didn't realise at the time that it was significant. So clearly we've had a conversation with one of the dudes, haven't we? Who was it? Jet? Did Jet ever mention something about his dorm room? A unique device. What would that be? I can't remember. The only way to know for sure is to put you on the spot. Fuck, I have to select someone, don't I? Is it Jet? Because I'm trying to think, what would that unique device be? Something that clearly can be hooked up to an extension cord means something that's got electrical components. Therefore, who would be most likely to have something with electrical components, some kind of unique object? Something that could also store chemicals in it. And I'm sort of thinking Jet, possibly. Right, I don't know, but I'm going to guess Jet. Because I'm not sure who else fits here. Wow, I've got over 3 minutes to think about this. Who bragged about having a unique device in his room? Was it Jet? I can't remember, but I feel like he's the one who maybe fits this. Oh god, was it you?
It has to be you!
Okay, it's giving me the graphics, so I'm assuming that's correct.
I need to ask you something.
There's dialogue. Am I correct? Was I right?
What's up?
Can you tell me what's inside your dorm room?
Like, a full-on list?
Whatever works.
Sure thing. I got a pretty gnarly collection of parts and accessories. Blind spot mirrors, lithium batteries, wheels, spare brakes, you name it.
Lithium batteries? Lithium is one of the chemicals that, if you drop it in water, does it not react real violently? I mean, then again, I know, like, because lithium, magnesium, potassium, they're all like part of the... it's been so long since I was at high school and chemistry classes where we went over this kind of thing.
Oh, I even have the legendary mantle from the 1984's Grand Prix winning speedster.
That's what I was hoping to hear.
Cool. So, why'd you want to know?
Lithium battery?
Unless... Wait, I'm not being suspected, am I? No. Don't try to rope me into this, bro. I've got nothing to do with the murder.
I know you don't. You have an alibi.
So, hang on. It was... Obviously, Jet and Mark were rooming, weren't they? Okay, so we're not saying it's Jet. Yeah, because he has his alibi that he was working, obviously, with... Of course he was. But Mark? Are we back to Mark?
The only reason I ask is because that mysterious red shrapnel may be the remnants of one of your lithium batteries.
What?
But you need to count them, buddy. How many did you have to begin with, and is one of them missing?
I see. A lithium battery might explain the smell in the air.
So the thing is, if he's bragged to Damon about having a lithium battery, did he brag to anyone else? And if he didn't, then there's only one person, I'm assuming here, who would have known about the lithium batteries, and that's the person he was bunking with. Right? Is that where it's going? In which case that would go to Mark.
And lithium, that's an explosive substance. If it made contact with water, gosh, you'd be left with a mess and a half.
Okay, so my vague memories of high school science are proving correct. Lithium, water, not a good combination, yes.
Wouldn't someone have heard an explosion, though?
Oh, it might not necessarily be a big explosion.
I did.
Oh, well, yeah, true.
Really?
During the tournament, right before we lost power.
Oi, that's right. There was a boom.
Wait! I remember hearing it too!
I initially assumed the generator made the noise somehow. But if Jet's car batteries contain an explosive substance...
Hey, Jet, were your batteries bright red at all?
Maybe?
You don't know for sure?
I never took the batteries out of their packaging. The packaging isn't red, I can tell you that, but the actual batteries? Yeah, I got nothing.
So it can't be proven beyond a reasonable doubt?
Unless we can take a detour, go there and look for ourselves. Or Tozu, have you brought one with you?
Pretty much.
Well, what's the reaction time of a lithium battery?
I'm pretty sure it's quite quick. Is it not? Like, if you expose lithium to water, it doesn't take long. It pretty much fizzles up quite quickly, if I remember correctly.
The reaction time?
When a lithium battery hits the water, how long does it take to combust? I think, once we know that, we can decide whether or not the battery is relevant to the case.
A lithium battery would be an
Thought
almost
so.
instantaneous reaction, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, pretty quick.
Lithium isn't a metal I've worked with, but it got beat into my head never to mix it with substances it doesn't like. All that electricity, the battery would have let out when it hit the water. It must have went straight into poor Wolfie.
There's warning labels on the battery for a reason.
Okay. If the reaction is instantaneous, then the battery would have entered the water only seconds before the generator exploded. That's really weird.
Is it?
According to Diana's testimony, when the explosion happened, she was still holding the taser gun. In which case, who threw the battery into the water?
Was it rigged up to go?
Huh. Good point. We can rule out Wolfgang, since the Blackens can only be a student who kills another student.
Wait.
And Diana.
Hold on. He's just saying the Blacken can only be a student who kills another student. But what if there's like a suicide then? Because obviously, I mean, I know I'm comparing here to official Danganronpa, which obviously is its own thing. And obviously Project Eden's Garden is not supposed to be connected to that at all. But if you have a suicide, then technically that would make you if you were the person who committed suicide, that would make you a Blackened, right?
It was only Diana and Wolfgang in the boiler room. So unless Diana herself was the one to throw the battery, then the battery can't play a part in the murder.
I didn't throw the battery. I promise.
The shrapnel and generator are too close for comfort. They must be correlated. Yeah, I don't think it's Diana. I'll admit that Diana throwing the battery is a possibility, but that's all it is, a possibility. There may still be another way for the battery to enter the water. Until I've ruled that out, I won't settle for a culprit just yet. Oh god. What would this be then? Let's see our bullets. Extension cord, generator, thin piece of metal, shrapnel, taser gun.
If the battery is related to the case,
Oh god, I don't know.
only Diana could have thrown it in the water.
But my arm had been cut. Lifting a battery would hurt too much.
Neo batteries are pretty lightweight, though.
The battery clearly couldn't have fallen from somewhere, so it must have been submerged another way.
Couldn't have fallen.
Perhaps something akin to what Eva described?
If that battery is the murder weapon, why is there a taser gun?
Maybe it's a red herring.
Judging by the shrapnel, the battery would have landed in the water, a few inches from the generator.
Not the hardest shot to make.
Everybody's quick to say the battery was thrown, but when I consider the boiler room, and which objects the killer could have leveraged, what that person considers impossible starts to sound anything but. So I'm assuming Toshiko is possibly the one to contradict, because she's saying it fell. So, let's see what bullets we've
If the
got.
battery is related to the case, only Diana could have thrown it in the water.
But
This?
my arm had been cut.
Hold on. We see the generator again. Our main detector been completely singed. It's like a bomb went off inside the machine. Are we saying it was maybe balanced on top? I don't know. Ugh. I'm just trying to think, like, how does this specific information contradict what Toshiko said? Hold on, what were the other bullets we had?
Lifting a battery would
Thin piece of
hurt too
metal,
much.
shrapnel, taser,
Neo batteries are pretty
extension.
lightweight, though.
Hold on, let me see. Extension. No internal plug. Only a frayed tip lined with a black substance. Collection of similar looking extension cords were discovered in storage D. These were fully intact. Internal plugs particularly slim. Is it this? Because it's in the water on the floor. So is it saying maybe... Was it used as like a tripwire or something? It was just placed on the floor where someone could knock into it, and thus, by extension, cause the lithium battery to fall? Is that what we're going with? I don't think it's this, because I don't see how that gets to it. I don't see how the taser gun relates. That obviously has already been in play. I feel like it's got to be the extension cord. Maybe.
The battery clearly couldn't have fallen
From somewhere. No, it's not that.
Now is not the time for.
Wait, which bullet did I shoot?
If the battery is related
was
to the
this?
case, only Diana could have thrown it in the water.
But my arm had been cut. Lifting a battery would hurt too much.
Oh, I'm not
Neo
sure here.
batteries are
Judging by the shrapnel, the battery would have landed in the water. A few inches from the generator.
Not the hardest shot to make.
Everybody's quick to say the battery was thrown, but when I consider the boiler room, which objects the killer could have leveraged, maybe it is the generator? Maybe it's
The
the
battery is
generator.
related
Maybe it
to
is
the
that.
case.
Hold on, let me try that with Toshiko's statement.
Neo batteries are pretty lightweight, though. The battery clearly couldn't have fallen.
Okay, what's that?
No, that's wrong!
I was overthinking. It was simple. Just put it on the generator so it falls.
No. The battery might actually have fallen from the generator.
What makes you say that?
The shrapnel's position in front of the generator suggests there's a correlation between the two.
Okay. I get what you're putting down now.
However, it's unlikely Diana threw the battery at the generator. Not only is the boiler room difficult to see in, the generator is positioned far enough from the concrete platform that Diana, with her wounded arm, would need to stand on the platform's edge to make the shot, which would obviously put her in danger of being attacked by Wolfgang again.
Yeah. Wolfgang was really close. He could reach over to me if he wanted.
If the battery hadn't been thrown, the only other possibility is that it fell down into the water. And considering the layout of the boiler room, what else could the battery fall off of? Except the generator.
Are you saying the battery was sitting on top of the generator?
Not on top, but maybe, yeah, like partway in it. What position was it in? Suspended over, leaning over the generator, teetering. I don't think it'd be that, would it? Leaning over? Teetering? I mean, these almost feel like kind of the same thing, but I don't know, I'm just guessing.
Imagine a domino tile teetering over the edge of a table. If you were to press down on the part which is sticking out, the entire tile would tip over and fall onto the floor, right?
Is this correct? It doesn't feel like
What
it
if
is.
the killer applied the same physics to the battery? They could position the battery so it was teetering over the generator, and then, from the safety of the concrete platform, use a long instrument to tip it over.
Or pull it?
That long instrument being?
I have no idea. Yeah, I was incorrect. So it's got to be... leaning? Suspended?
I got it.
Okay, it was that one. Please explain. I'm not sure what you mean.
The battery may have been suspended over the generator.
Because when you say suspended, that makes it sound like you're saying hanging above it from like a cord or something, which, with this extension cord, if that's what you're talking about.
Suspended over.
If the battery was suspended by something, then the presence of that item starts to make a lot more sense. Or the extension cord, I assume.
This is it.
Okay, yeah. I was just a bit unsure what they meant by certain
Killer
things
could have
there.
tied the extension cord around the battery and slung the battery over the generator. If the cord and battery were tied together at the time of the generator's explosion, it would explain why half of the cord had been burned away.
The more you explain it, the more unbelievable it sounds.
What if that's the point? Maybe the killer chose a crazy method because no one would believe it.
I don't see how weaving a cord into the mix is any more beneficial than leaving it out. If anything, the cord adds extra weight.
Which would be especially inconvenient for Diana, because her arm is bleeding.
Right. It wouldn't benefit Diana to hold the cord.
I was just sort of thinking for a second that maybe the cord was like tied to something. And of course Wolfgang was wailing around with that knife. Did he just cut it and thus kill himself by effectively triggering the trap?
So, what if she didn't? Something else may have been supporting the cord instead.
Something else. Something like... oh god, what? What was holding the cord? Wolfgang? Oh. Wolfgang may have been... if it had been, like, tied to him? No. No. That's not it. Third person, the cord wasn't involved. An object?
I got it.
Okay, it's this one.
Throughout this trial, we've assumed the killer held the battery in some form or another. If the battery was on its own, the killer tossed it in. If the battery was wrapped with a cord, the killer held the other end of the cord. But in the same way something else can hold the battery, can't something else also hold the cord?
Ugh. My head's starting to spin.
Yeah. I'm trying to, like, piece this together in my own head as well.
Are you talking
Picture
about
it.
something which could keep the cord in place?
Something to keep the cord in place. If I imagine the cord and the battery it's tied around in front of the generator, in the same spot where the shrapnel has surfaced... oh god, what? What, the pipes? Above? Here? Is that what we're saying? Oh, shit. What did I just click on there? Oh, what's the question? What was the other end of the cord tied to? The boxes? Oh god, I don't know. Like, what are we clicking? The generator itself or the vent? I'm just gonna have to spitball here, I don't know.
This is it.
Oh, yeah, the vent. I mean, it's bars, you could wrap it around.
The killer tied the cord to the vent.
What vent?
The one above the generator. It connects the boiler room and the dining hall.
There's a vent above the generator?
You should remember some light shining into the boiler room. That's where the vent is. The vent itself is set a bit far back into the wall. So, you probably assume the spot was a small window or something.
If the boiler room and the dining hall are separated by one vent, does this make the wallpaper thin, or...?
There's two vents.
Yeah.
The boiler
Has to be a
room
little
vent
way between
and the
them.
dining hall vent. Both are connected via a small ventilation shaft.
I guess that would make it harder to hear certain things happening in the boiler room from the dining hall.
I was able to get a close look at the boiler room vent after Ava and I woke up, which is why I know these details.
How close is close for someone under 6 foot?
Okay, so are we saying that it has to be a tall person who's done this?
Ava helped me reach the vent,
By?
letting me sit on her shoulders.
Quite the visual.
Well, nice to know you're amused. Don't rub it in.
Anyway, if the killer tied one end of the cord to the vent, and the other end around the battery, they could suspend the battery over the generator.
Something like that would result in an explosion.
There's something I'm not getting here, though. So they're saying they tied it, suspended it. Obviously, they can't actually have it touching the water at the point they suspend it, because otherwise then it goes off, right? So that would mean they have to suspend it over the water so that then something causes it to drop. We've not got to that bit yet, and I'm sort of still a bit confused here by what they're getting at.
What do you mean?
You say the killer tied one end of the cord to the vent and the other end to the battery. However, indoor extension cords are much longer than regular cords. They can be upwards of 9 or more meters in length, as opposed to the average cord's 2 meters. 9 meters is significantly longer than the distance between the vent and the boiler room floor.
It's very specific.
If the killer wanted to tie the battery to the cord's other end, they would be tying it to something which is already submerged in water.
Okay, you're sort of getting at a similar thing to what I'm getting at here.
I see. It is an impossible setup.
Not necessarily. The killer can have greatly reduced the length of the cord by doing that. Not burning it. Cutting it. Cutting the cord. Well, just cutting or wrapping it.
I got it.
Yeah, just wrapping it.
The extension cord is pretty thin and flimsy. If the killer wanted the battery to be secure, they need to wrap a lot of cord around it. Probably to the point there wouldn't be much spare cord remaining. Which is a good thing.
Okay.
Because this spare cord is what the battery will be suspended by.
Okay, I'm glad they're starting to put pictures here, diagrams of how this is set up, because I think I need a visual to sort of get this right in my own head.
So long as the spare cord isn't too long, the battery will sit safely above the water.
So this makes sense. What I'm just unsure about at the moment, and I'm assuming they'll probably explain this in a sec, is obviously you need something there to actually release the cord or cut it so that the battery then actually hits the water, and that's where I'm getting a bit stuck here at the moment. So they'll probably explain it in a moment, but let's see.
So much effort.
Agreed. How do you even submerge the battery into the water under those circumstances?
And obviously where we found the cord was not on the vent, it was down by the side of the generator, or rather where we found what was left of it. How? Simple. By adjusting the cord's position, all the killer would need to utilise is a certain aspect of the boiler room. Oh god, what? What are you talking about? Damon, I feel like you're a couple of steps ahead of me here. What are you referring to? Oh, there's nothing over here. Can't be the vent. So you're talking about the Jenny itself? I don't know. No. Of course not tied to the generator. What, the vent? The vent itself? Is that what you're saying? I have no fucking idea what he's trying to get at. To adjust the cord's position.
This is it.
Okay, please explain. I'm not following.
Like I mentioned earlier, I gave the vent a close look after originally waking up in the boiler room. Part of my inspection included opening the vent to get a better look at the other side.
Right. So the vent can be lifted, I guess, to open it. So does it like swing outwards? In which case, it would dip the battery into the water. Right. So the question now is, how do you get the vent to open to do that then?
The vent can be opened?
Not all the way, but far enough for the vent to cause a domino effect if then closed. In our case, a domino effect involving the extension cord tied to it.
So I think I get what he's saying here. He's saying the act of opening and closing the vent shakes the battery around, which maybe causes the cord that's wrapped around it to unravel a bit, and thus it hits the water and, you know, combusts. But what's making the vent open then is my question, to actually initiate that chain of events. You get what I mean?
If we assume the vent must be open for the battery to remain a safe distance above the water, we end up with a pulley system.
Okay, so you're saying it opens that way. which keeps it above the water, so it closing is what dips it into the water, right? But what triggers the vent to close? That's what I'm getting at.
To prevent the battery from entering the water, the vent is literally pulling the entire cord backwards. Ergo, it's not just the killer's own measurements keeping the battery in place, but the vent itself. Having opened one of these vents before, I can tell you how tough they are to move.
Wrapping my fingers around the grate directly in front of me, I pulled as hard as I could.
A lightweight battery definitely isn't heavy enough to pull one shut. It takes an actual person to close one, which is great for the killer, because it means they get to maintain full control over when the battery enters the water.
So, is it the case that someone in the dining hall basically went into the vent from the dining hall side and used that then to push it closed? But no, right? Because, no, we would have seen that. Would we?
If they close the vent, the cord should slide forward and submerge the battery into the water. When that happens, the boiler room water becomes electrified by the battery's components, which in turn causes electricity to pass directly into the body of Wolfgang, who is standing in the water.
Exactly which vent is the cord being tied to?
The boiler room vent.
Funny.
Winona, are you about to ask the question that's kind of on my mind here?
Earlier, you said there's a small vent shaft
Yes.
connecting the boiler room vent to the dining hall vent.
I think she's getting at what I'm getting at here. That I'm a bit puzzled by.
Assuming the killer is operating this trap from outside the boiler room, since we know there were only ever 2 people in that room, how would they even be able to reach the boiler room vent?
To close it.
Like you said, there's a separate vent in front of it.
She has a point. Okay, so yeah, I'm not being stupid here. There is a genuine question here about how they close that thing. I've been assuming the cord is tied to the boiler room vent. I failed to consider the ventilation shaft. It becomes considerably harder to reach the boiler room vent if you have to reach down that shaft first. So was it actually tied beyond that to this particular vent? Not just that, I never tested to see if the boiler room vent can open inwards. I only got it to open outwards. By that logic, rather, a vent on the opposite side of the shaft.
This could only mean one thing.
Someone in the dining hall is responsible. Is that where we're going?
The killer never tied the cord to the boiler room vent. They tied the cord to the dining hall vent.
That just creates the same problem as before, but reversed. Instead of the dining hall vent making it hard to close the boiler room vent, it's the boiler room vent making it hard to reach the dining hall vent.
While the vents may seem like an obstruction, especially since they can't be opened all the way, there's a very easy workaround. All the killer needs to do is fit the extension cord between the grates of the boiler room vent.
Oh yeah, the grates. You mentioned something about them earlier.
Where's he going with this?
Right. When you described opening the boiler room vent.
Wrapping my fingers around, I pulled as hard as I could. This is the dining hall vent side, the grate on that bit.
If you can fit your fingers between the grates, there's no damn way you can't fit a cord.
Exactly. After which, you can slide the cord through the ventilation shaft and out the opposite end for the killer to then go and tie to the...
Actually...
Oh. Okay. What's up, dude?
Hello?
Hello?
What is it now?
There's something I still don't understand about your theory. It's to do with the logistics of the cord.
The logistics?
Its size.
Okay. We're back to discussing this again? Never mind. I'll find a way to combat his argument, just like I've done countless times already. Okay. I'm still a bit sort of unclear on it myself yet, but we'll see. Alright, knife blackout. Ooh.
I understand the boiler room vent can be open.
Extension cord generator. Oh,
Maybe
God.
not all the way, but enough to fit an extension cord through. What's bothering me, however, is that the boiler room vent was closed during the investigation, which means it must have been closed during the murder.
Oh, I accidentally went back then.
I don't see a problem here. The killer doesn't even need to open that vent, because they could simply slide the cord between the grates.
Indoor extension cords may be thin, but the plugs on either side of them aren't.
Okay,
How can
actually.
the killer fit both those plugs between the gaps in the vent grate? Either the boiler room vent was never involved, or it was open at some point, and someone else closed it. That is my issue.
It only might have made sense if it weren't for one fatal flaw. I'm going to be honest, I'm not sure myself what we're getting at here.
Indoor extension cords may be thin, but the plugs on either side of them aren't.
Okay, it's that, apparently. I'm going to need them to explain this, because I'm a bit unsure what we're getting at here.
If you insert the cord through the boiler room vent first, it's possible to fit the cord through. You just need to start with the internal plug. The cords in Storage Closet D have a slim internal end. This can easily be slid through the gaps in the vent. Once the killer ties the cord around the dining hall vent, presumably with a knot, the cord won't be at risk of sliding back out either.
I see. When put like that, whether or not the boiler room vent was closed isn't really relevant.
Okay, so, right, am I understanding this correctly here? We're saying that you... Sorry, this is melting my brain a bit. I'm not quite getting this. So we're saying it was tied from the No, it was tied from... No, we've been tied from the boiler room end, won't it? Because they'll have opened the vent, lean through, push the plug through the gaps there. Okay, I'm going to need them to explain it to me. I'm not following at all.
How'd you figure all this out from some shrapnel and an extension cord? This is crazy.
At the same time, what he's describing sounds plausible.
I'm just getting this, I think, a bit confused in my head in terms of which end it was done from and what was opened, what it was tied around first and then fed back through. I'm just getting a bit mixed up here in my head.
Since the battery was suspended over the generator, it's no surprise the machine ended up the way it did.
Okay, I may just have to go with what they're saying here.
Fortunately for Diana, she was safe by virtue of remaining on the platform. I imagine that was also the killer's intention.
So, right, well maybe how this was tied up is not the important thing here. Yeah, I'm still a bit unclear about this in my own head. I'm not sure if I've fully grasped the explanation of it.
The killer kept her on the platform?
They must have known they were injecting Wolfgang with a hallucinogenic. So, it's possible they hoped his behavior would scare Diana off from entering the water. Although, even if Diana did die, the moment people realized only she and Wolfgang entered the boiler room, they'd probably call the whole thing a murder gone wrong.
Well, all of this certainly changes things.
Huh?
If the killer is someone who needed access to the vent, and needed to be operating from the dining hall...
Yeah. So can someone maybe explain to me in the comments, just to check that I've got this right in my head, how this tying of the battery thing works? I know they probably literally just said it outright. In fact, I can just go back over it, can't I? So let me just go back to what Ulysses was saying. If I go just a bit before that. So, if you can fit your fingers between the grates, there's no way you can't fit a cord. Slide the cord through the ventilation shaft and out the opposite end. You mentioned something about them earlier. Fit the extension cord between the grates of the boiler room vent. Instead of the dining hall vent making it hard to close the boiler room vent, it's the boiler... God. I think what's making it hard here is they keep referring to it as vent instead of grate. Whereas they mean grate, not vent. Because the grates here are what they're talking about in terms of the things they're actually tying it to. The vent is just the shaft between the grates. It's just confusing me a bit here. The killer never tied the cord to the boiler room. They tied the cord to the dining hall vent. All the vents may seem like an obstruction. There's an easy reason all killer needs to do is fit the extension cord between the grates of the boiler room vent. Wrap my fingers around the grate directly in front of me. He's talking about, obviously, the dining room side grate there, I think. You can fit your fingers. There's no way you can't fit a cord. Exactly after which you can slide the cord through the ventilation shaft and out the opposite end. Right, so my assumption here is that they would have had to do this from... Well, they could have done it from the dining hall end. Yeah, tied one end around, slid it through into the vent shaft and then gone down to the boiler room, opened up that vent from that side and pulled it through. Is that what they're saying? Have I understood that correct? Or was it the other way around? Did they go down to the boiler room, open the vent there, slide the thing in, tie it from that side, and then just, yeah, let it trail through? So Ulysses' point was logistics of the cord, its size. If you insert the cord through the boiler room vent first, it's possible to fit the cord through. Just need to start with the internal plug. Okay, right. Slim internal end. Yeah, okay, right. No. Yeah. Yeah, I've got it. No, I was understanding it correctly. I think it was just the fact that they're constantly using the word vent. I think it's just bamboozled me a bit and made me think, had I maybe second guessed myself? Once the killer ties the cord won't be at risk of sliding back out either. Okay. Right, I think I'm on the same page. I think I've got it.
Then everyone who attended the tournament is a suspect.
Sorry, yeah. I was having a moment there where I was just trying to wrap my brain around it and make sure I'd understood correctly. I think I have. I just needed to check and be sure.
What?
Just the way they were phrasing it.
No way!
One of the tournament attendees is the killer. Damn it, had I not realised sooner. I knew it. I mean, I called it early on, right? I raised the possibility that this was a trap that had been premeditated and set up in advance, therefore the tournament is not a solid alibi. I fucking knew it. The fact the killer could even access the vent means they must have been in the dining hall at the time of Wolfgang's murder. Yeah, because all they have to do maybe is just knock the vents grate slightly to cause the other one to close, I'm guessing.
So we can reduce it down to 8 people. Damon, Kai, Grace, Eva, Cassidy, Jed, Mark, and John.
I mean, of those people, I am suspicious of Ava a bit, because she's been very pushy about certain things not being possible. Sorry, I was just adjusting my microphone then. But then again, it could be someone else yet. Let's see.
It was probably Cassidy. She set the whole thing up.
No, I don't think so.
I was only trying to improve the mood.
It wasn't me. I was playing a game with Damon when the lights went out.
Well, let's think about that CG that we saw of them playing the game when the blackout actually occurred. So Damon and Kai were visible because they were playing the game. Grace was also there, so it can't be her. Jean was there, it can't be him. I think Jet was in the shot, and Cassidy, which leaves Mark and Ava as our 2 suspects, I'm guessing, because I don't think either of them were in the CG, so they could have been elsewhere in the room. And the TV was on the opposite wall to where the vent was, so everyone would have been facing towards that wall, not looking at the vent. Right, so it's Mark or Ava, right? But then again, if Mark was next to his DJ station, which was in the corner of the room on the same wall as the TV, then he may have been visible to everyone else when the blackout occurred. Oh, Ava. Is it her?
I had to play music.
Me too.
You never touched my equipment.
I meant I was watching Kai and Damon play.
I was spectating as well.
Me too.
Me 3! And Cass too, I think? I was too focused on the game to remember who was or wasn't there.
If everyone's telling the truth, then all 8 of y'all were
No.
crowded round the same
No, we were
spot?
not. No, we were not. We saw a CG. They had a CG of this during the tournament. A whole picture. Mark and Ava were not in that picture. They were not crowded around with the rest of us. And if Mark was over by his music equipment, then that leaves Ava.
Near the right wall where the TV was set up. It's also the furthest wall from the vent.
Okay, my memory is working here.
Seems like someone is lying again.
The tournament participant who flipped the vent, I could deduce who that person is by determining everyone's positions directly before the blackout. It's Ava, I'm telling you. She feels like the only one who fits. Problem is, I myself have been totally preoccupied with the game. I never got a good look at the actual people around me. Never got a good look. Wait, is that it? Well, I never got a good look at the others. I can still deduce their general positions. If they were near me, ask them what they saw. What do they remember of the game itself when the blackout occurred? From whether or not I heard them. Aha! That too, actually, yeah. Think, Damon, think. Who and what did I hear back then? It was you. The only person I never heard was you. It's Ava. I'm sure of it. Wow. One of the people I had no suspicions on at any point until recently. It's gotta be, right?
It has to be you!
The killer is Ava.
Huh?
Ava's the only one whose position I can't account for.
Ooh.
Mark was mixing a track at the time Kai and I were playing a game, so I know he must have been stationed at his pad. And everyone else? I remember hearing their voices over the sound of the game. Everyone. Except Ava. In fact, the last I saw her, she was standing in the corner of the room with the vent.
So Ava flipped the vent?
Oh man! And the reason no one heard it is because the music was too loud!
Don't blame me. I was just doing what I was told.
No one's blaming you. We're all in on Eva.
Care to contribute anything, Eva?
Ava and Diana were rooming together as well. Oh boy. Yikes. Guess they had Diana as... well, Ava had Diana as just a convenient scapegoat.
I didn't flip the vent.
Well, Damon says you did.
Damon says a lot of things.
While you aren't technically wrong, I don't think that counts as an argument.
A slight burn on Damon there.
His theory is full of plot holes. He just refuses to point them out.
What plot holes?
The cord.
What?
What about it?
In retrospect, you were so quick to accuse me that you overlooked a huge problem with the cord. If I'm the killer, how did I dispose of it?
This is a good question, because if it's tied around one end of the vent, how did it end up in the water?
Trick question. You left the cord tied to the vent.
What then? It unraveled by itself and fell into the water?
You got me there.
How did Ava get rid of the cord? I'm sure it's possible if she knew to untie it at the right time. From the boom? Is that the thing that told her? When everyone left, well, during the blackout, right? If she was by the vent.
I got it.
Yeah, would have been relatively easy if she's right by it to find it.
Dispose of the cord. You just untied it during the blackout.
She untied the knot during a blackout?
Being the one who set up the trap, Ava could have easily practiced untying the knot in advance. Or she just made it a really simple knot.
Yeah. I can see that, yeah.
Either way, it wouldn't be any more difficult than untying your shoelaces with your eyes closed.
If Ava untied the cord, did it also fall into the water?
Diana's testimony says as much.
It does?
During your confrontation with Wolfgang, you recounted hearing certain sounds.
I'm not like you. I'll never be like you. I won't give up until the world knows. I won't give up until I'm known as... All of a sudden, everything had turned to white. Everything in front of me except the Wolfgang. In those few seconds, he became pitch black. And then so did everything else.
The first sound was obviously the battery exploding. And the second, when you first recounted the story, you said it was the sound of the knife hitting the water. But why would a thin knife make such a big splash?
Then, do you think...
What really caused that sound was probably the extension cord falling into the water.
When you say it that way, it does seem likelier.
I should have known. The kid who lied about her talents and tried to lie about the Tozy trinkets. I should have known. I should have known only Eva fucking Sadaka would tell Wolfgang!
You're right that Eva's lied to us several times already.
But she's just a mathlete. How did someone like her come up with something this complicated?
'Cause she's clever.
Her talent would give her the upper hand in all that measurement nonsense.
Even so, the sheer volume of items Eva had to steal.
I'm also just wondering, because if we're going with the idea that Wolfgang was drugged with an injection, at what point did Ava administer the jab?
She's been under heavy suspicion these past few days. How did she sneak into Jet and Desmond's rooms without being noticed?
It's impossible. Wolfgang even got mad at me for being late to the dining hall by a few minutes. I've been watched the entire time I've been here. There's no way Jet wouldn't have noticed me taking his battery.
Right on. No one steals from me.
They already did.
And anyway, how could I enter the cord through the boiler room vent when I can't even reach the top of the generator? If anything, you should be suspicious of the taller students.
These are good questions. I understand why people are doubtful, but I can't let the conversation continue like this. Ava did in fact have a way to reach the vent. All she had to use... boxes? Maybe? These things?
Ava grabbed one of the boxes
Never mind, that's
on
not
the
it.
concrete platform and placed it next to the generator.
That's setting myself up. Removing a box would reduce the amount of boxes on the platform from 3 to 2.
You could always put it back after you set it up.
Flexing your mathematical prowess, I see.
I'm saying Damon would have noticed if a box was missing, since there's so few of them to start with. But he never noticed anything, because there were just as many boxes as there were last time.
Couldn't you just move the box back after using it?
Well, clearly this is not the right answer anyway, because it didn't do the graphic, I got it, kind of thing.
Then the underside of the box would be wet.
Okay, true,
which
that
it
too.
wasn't.
This I can confirm. My notes on the box's exteriors mention nothing about watermarks.
Damn it, Damon, what were you thinking? God, I'm losing life. I gotta be a bit better about this. Okay, if it's not that, so what does she use to get up there then? Because there's nothing, obviously, over there. Or the vent itself, the cord? Does she use the cord? Is like to climb up? No.
I'm not tall enough to reach that high.
Well, I was just supposing, because if it's, going through the vent, that might hold it secure so you can climb up. Kind of. Alright, well, it's the generator itself then. What?
I'm not tall enough to reach...
Huh? Wait, what am I clicking? What am I clicking here? I don't get it. What does it want me to click? What? I am confused. What did she use to reach the vent? Well, evidently not the boxes. Not the generator, unless I just clicked on the wrong thing. As I click down here.
I'm not tall enough to reach that high.
Wait, what? Huh? Oh my god, I'm actually gonna fail. What am I supposed to click on here? I'm not... What? I don't... Huh? These? The pipes?
Ava grabbed one of the boxes.
No,
on the-
I've already done that. That's not it. I clicked the pipes, not the boxes. What? No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Right, what does it want me to click on here? I'm confused. I feel like the hitbox on some of these objects is a bit big. Makes it look like you're clicking on something else when actually you're not. What, the Jenny?
I'm not...
God damn it! What? Huh? What? What's that? I clicked on there.
This is it.
The grating? What, the railing?
Ava, to reach the top of the generator,
Oh.
you simply stood on one of the boxes in the boiler room.
Wait, what? I clicked on boxes there that were nowhere near the vent. Right, you're going to need to explain this to me. I'm very confused.
There's already a huge pile of them near the generator itself. You could easily push one up against the machine.
Okay, you're saying she moved one. Right, so I was on the fucking right lines before. When I clicked those other boxes, I guess it wanted me to click that specific one. Okay.
She would have known about those boxes in advance, too. Since she explored the boiler room with you ahead of time.
And I guess because obviously they would already be wet, so it wouldn't be suspicious for them to be damp.
Okay, I could have used the boxes to reach the top of the generator. And I could have fit the cord through both vents if I inserted the right plug. I can do both of those things without attracting suspicion. What I can't do without attracting suspicion is opening the vent.
Eh? Which vent are we talking about?
Boiler room
The
side
dining
one?
hall
Oh, that one.
Based on what Damon's saying, it needs to be opened for the killer's trap to work.
No, I thought we established that it didn't. Because you can fit the cord and the internal plug through.
But opening it during the tournament is asking to be caught, and opening it before the tournament is useless because Jet, Cassidy, and Mark would see it while setting up.
No, again though.
Oh yeah, you're right. If there was an open vent with a cord tied to it, I would have noticed for sure.
Now that Eva mentions it, I'm pretty sure the vent was closed during setup.
The vent was closed?
See, there's no way I can execute this trap without being caught. It's a stupid trap anyway. All the cord and vent stuff is too complicated. There's a billion ways it could go wrong. Damon's just making stuff up. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Wow. You become very direct and blunt.
What the? That's bullshit.
Can it, you four-eyed troll! You can't talk your way out of this one!
Oh? Does Grace know something? Shit.
Only person who would be sick-minded enough to kill Wolfgang is you, and only you! Don't you fucking try and tell me otherwise!
Wait, Juddery again for a moment then. God, what are we talking about now? Extension cord, shrapnel, boiler room doorknob. Oh my god, it's about 6 things. Okay.
You can't say I'm the murderer just because I sat near a vent.
Yeah, the frame rate's dipping again.
To me.
Wolfgang exposed you for the snake you are, and you despised him because of it. You have a motive!
Perhaps our understanding of the mechanism is wrong? Maybe it wasn't closing the vent that triggered it, but something else?
Do you have any evidence to prove that?
Even if this trap was used, you can't guarantee it operated the way Damon described.
How so?
Well, the battery could have been tied to the extension cord, with a special knot which can untie by itself. After a bit of time passes.
There's even less evidence for that!
Evidence? No one here cares about evidence.
Oh, don't they?
I just happened to be at the game tournament. And now you're saying I'm a killer.
You just happened? Right, Damon, please give me a clue. Never mind what was said before. Focus on the facts. Just need to focus. Oh my god, right, what are we going with now? So, is it agree with Toshiko? Oh my god, right, what bullets have we got?
You can't say I'm the murderer just because I
Extension
sat
cord,
near a vent.
shrapnel,
It
boiler
seems
and
to be
doorknob.
pretty good evidence to me.
Wolfgang exposed you for
Hold
the
on,
snake you
wait.
are.
First match, game was cut short by the blackout. No internal plug, only a frayed tip lined with a black substance because it's burnt off. Right? Internal plugs are particularly slim. What are we getting at here? Let's see, hold on.
And you despised him because of it. You have a motive!
Perhaps our understanding of the mechanism is wrong? Maybe it wasn't closing the vent.
Oh, bollocks, missed. I don't know, I was just spitballing then.
Do you have
Even if this trap was used, you can't guarantee it operated the way Damon described. How so? Well, the battery could have been tied to the extension cord, with a special knot which can untie by itself. After a bit of time passes. Evidence! No one here cares about evidence! I just happened to be at the game tournament.
Oh, bollocks.
Now
Am I
you're
supposed to
saying
shoot
I'm
that
a
one?
killer.
I don't know. I'm not sure what it's getting at here. Because we're talking about the mechanism of how this would work, right? But I'm trying to think how do any of the bullets we've got there relate to that? Oh god, there's like so much here I've got to keep track of without having it all written down literally in front of me right now. Focus on the facts.
You can't
Okay.
say I'm the murderer just because I stuck near a vent.
That seems to be pretty good evidence to me. Wolfgang exposed you to the snake you are, and you despised him because of it.
You have a motive!
Perhaps our understanding of the mechanism is wrong?
Game tournament timeline. Is it this? Saying that against the final contradiction point that... oh god, I don't know! I'm just spitballing now.
Do you have any evidence to prove that? Even if this trap was used, you can't guarantee it operated the way Damon described. How so? Well, the battery could have been tied to the extension cord with a special knot which can untie
Hold on. No, I don't think it's that. Because that's just completely different. Okay, it's that.
That's wrong!
I was a bit unsure. Because that truth bullet...
No. It's no coincidence you were at the game tournament.
Right, come on, explain it for me here. Where are we going? Because I'm a bit unclear.
In fact, it's not even a coincidence the tournament took place during the murder.
What do you mean?
It was impossible for me to notice this earlier. But the killer timed the tournament so it would grant them an alibi for the murder.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! Are you accusing me of murder again? I thought you said Ava was the culprit.
The detective isn't supposed to switch suspects in the last stretch like this. You're totally throwing the audience for a loop, and not in a
I don't think that's what's happening.
Except neither of you played a role in determining what time the tournament would be held.
Oh. Ah. Ava. She was the one who suggested 9, wasn't she? I forgot about that. Right, I'm just going to take another jump cut because it's getting late and I need to go and get my evening meal. God, this has been one hell of a trial so far, this one. But once I've just had an evening meal, I will come back and we'll complete the remainder because I feel like there's not much more to go yet. So, just a second, everybody. Testing, testing. Testing, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Right, once again, back in. God, what a mammoth of a trial this one has been so far. I'm just looking at the total amount of recording time. We've been going for at least a few hours now, haven't we? This one will probably be split down into a fair few episodes, this, so... Gosh, the twists and turns we've had so far. Right, so this is where we obviously left off. So basically it's coming back to Ava. The fact that she was the one who determined the time for the tournament.
The only person to determine that was Ava.
So if you hear me, by the way, smacking my lips a little bit, just got myself another cup of tea. Had a couple of digestive biscuits as well. When I was training my tongue, I did most of me studying at 9 AM. Brain's most active and ready to absorb information around that time. I think this effect could help our video game skills. A 9 AM Tony, huh? Won't be the first time. Screw it, let's do 9 AM, 1 hour after the morning announcement.
Ava knew she would be in the dining hall tomorrow, so when Cassidy announced the tournament, she realized it was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to create an alibi for herself.
That's insane. How could she have come up with something like that on the spot?
It wasn't just for an alibi either. Since Ava knew about the tournament, she could time the setup of her trap accordingly.
So to answer a question of why neither Cassidy, Jet nor Mark noticed the open vent, when I think back on what Cassidy told me earlier today, before the tournament began, I can discern exactly when Ava opened the vent. Can you? What did Cassidy say earlier? After breakfast. After stacking the furniture? No. After setting up Mark's equipment? Shit, what did Cassidy say? Oh god, I've only got, what, just over 45 seconds. When did Ava open the dining hall vent? I mean, after stacking the furniture? Because it was all lined down one side of the room, which might give it a bit of a screen.
I got it.
Yeah, okay, I was right. Maybe. If that's the
Cassidy,
reasoning.
You told me Ava approached you yesterday and asked to help set up the tournament. What exactly did she say?
When did I tell you this again?
God dang it. Look, I'm already having a couple of moments here where my memory is being a bit faulty. I don't need your memory being faulty as well.
Before the tournament?
Oh, now I remember. Yeah, Eva wanted to see what sort of equipment the tournament needed. After I showed her Mark stuff and told her we were redecorating the dining hall, she offered to help.
Back when this conversation happened, you still hadn't decided what time you were going to start redecorating, right?
Yeah, it's kind of embarrassing. Eva really helped me out, though. She said she would stack the dining hall furniture we weren't going to use later that night.
Oh. So you didn't stack the furniture on the day. Stacked it the night before.
Afterwards, we could focus purely on arranging the technical stuff in the morning.
Okay, and she offered to do that, right?
Alright. Then tell me what happened last night.
Jet, Mark, Eva, and I came to the dining hall at around 8:40 p.m. probably. We stacked the table and the dining chairs against the left wall, and the sofas we moved to the middle of the room, maybe a little more to the right. Then we all went back to our dorms. Well, I was kind of hungry, so I stayed back a few minutes before leaving.
Hold the phone. If those sofa chairs were moved to the middle of the room, why did I see one over in the corner this morning?
Because Eva pushed it there.
Oh, did she now?
Eva what?
She didn't want to take part in the tournament. Just watch it from the side. That's what she told me.
Can we get CG that just reminds us rather of the layout of the room?
I never thought it was weird or anything. Some people just like sticking to the walls of rooms, you know?
We're talking about the sofa in the upper left corner, aye? The one next to the coffee table.
Yes, sir, Bob.
Yo, when the power went out, I'm pretty sure Damon ran over to that corner to look through. Yeah, a vent!
Not immediately, though.
Did she move the chair there so it would be easier to reach the vent later?
Why would I when Cassidy just said the vent was closed during setup?
Because you were covering for yourself in advance.
Huh?
The vent may not have been open at the time, but I'm willing to bet that's because you were still creating your trap.
In what way?
Let's say Ava took a detour for the boiler room first, and slid the internal plug through both vents. After going upstairs and helping rearrange the dining hall furniture, during which she moves a sofa chair so it obscures the vent, she heads outside and hides until everyone else goes to bed. Then, she walks back in and opens the vent.
So Eva took complete advantage of them?
Not my fault those two are so trusting.
You think a big guy like me was gonna be afraid of some mathlete? No way!
That's not what we're getting at here, chat.
I mean, she did lie about a lot of important things. Her talent being one of them.
She also cried and fled the scene after we found out, no?
I just thought it was cool. She wanted to help me out.
Hey, can we backtrack a little? Like, to before all this Ava talk?
I just had a humorous thought about what he was going to say then. Thought for a second he was about to say, can we go back to the very beginning?
Why? What happened?
It's to do with the chair's position.
The chair?
You guys keep saying it was in front of the vent, but Damon stood in front of the vent during the blackout. If the chair was in the position you all say it was, it should have blocked him from crouching in front of the vent.
Ava probably just moved it during the blackout.
Eh?
Okay, CG?
Before the blackout, it was positioned with its back to the left wall.
Okay, this is helpful. This is what we need. So there's Mark's DJ setup in the bottom right. And that's the chair up there in the top left.
However, when I ran over to the vent, the chair was suddenly pushed up against the northern wall, out of the vent's range.
Damn, how did I not notice this? At the time, I bet you it was visible, wasn't it? And one of those little details that you don't quite clock.
Ava must have shifted the chair while everyone was initially panicking from the blackout. I'm guessing she hoped people would misremember its position and think it was always along the northern wall.
Oh man! So I totally fell for it?
I also remember seeing a speaker in that corner.
Yeah, about that. This morning, Jet, Mark, and I arrived at the dining hall a little after 8 a.m., then Eva came a few minutes later. She helped us put together Mark's equipment, which was stationed in the lower right corner of the room. And then she volunteered to place speakers around the room while Jet and I set up the TV next to the fireplace.
Moving a speaker near the vent. Did Eva do that to drown out Diana and Wolfgang's scuffle?
A fair point. Because I did raise the question earlier about sound coming up from that vent. Because when Wolfgang attacked Diana, it sounded quite noisy. So, yeah, I was wondering about that.
Yeah, and in turn exacerbate the effects of the other speakers. There were almost a dozen spread throughout the dining hall. Some even sandwiched into corners they didn't need to be. Eva probably placed them that way to cover as much ground as possible.
Still. Eva entered the dining hall at 8:10 a.m., right? So, wouldn't it be impossible for her to knock out Lawyer Man at 8:15 a.m.?
This is a good question. We still need to ascertain how Wolfgang was incapacitated, because we've not answered that, have we?
According to Eva, she arrived around 8:10 a.m., but it's possible she actually arrived much later. Since there's no clock in the dining hall, he just couldn't have known.
Power of suggestion then. She just says it confidently to make it sound like and people just go along with it.
In fact, that might be why Eva seemed so eager to arrange Mark's equipment in the morning. Upon realizing it had a clock, she wanted to ensure it would only be powered on after she arrived.
It seems the setup of this trap occurred across 3 phases. Phase 1 took place in the boiler room and involved tying a lithium battery to an extension cord.
Okay, thank you, Ulysses, for saying this. Because I had that moment earlier where I was just trying to visualise the setup with the cord and the vents. If you're going to explain it for me now, then that's great.
The cord was then slid through the grates of the closed boiler room vent, presumably until it almost poked out the other end of the ventilation shaft. Phase 2, by contrast, was carried out in the dining hall. The aforementioned cord was tied around the dining hall vent, which was then left open. This must have happened after Cassidy, Mark, and Jet were already done redecorating. For the third and final phase, the battery was carefully suspended over the generator.
So, to be able to tie the battery, Ava would have had to leave and go down to the boiler room again? Is that what you're saying?
All these steps combined created a pulley system, which could only be triggered by closing the dining hall vent. Is there anything I'm missing?
How I closed the vent.
Huh?
No one has explained how I closed the dining hall vent. Obviously, I didn't do it during the blackout. According to Damon, the blackout can only happen after the vent is closed. So, I must have stood up, gone behind the chair, and closed the vent during the tournament. That's stupid. Someone is definitely going to notice that sort of conspicuous movement. It doesn't matter if that someone is on the opposite side of the room. They're going to notice.
There is also that question I just raised. So if it's doing 3 phases like that, first phase is going to the boiler room, sliding the cord through the vents. Obviously you can't tie the battery to it there and then, because the weight of it surely will pull the cord back down. It'll go into the water. So Ava then has to go to the dining room, pull the cord through the dining hall vent, tie it off, then go back down to the boiler room and tie the thing on. So would someone have noticed her going down a second time? Or just leaving the dining hall?
How did we overlook such an obvious discrepancy?
Ava's right. Standing up would look really suspicious. Which is exactly why she used that to circumvent the problem. The what? The what now? The chair? What, just so that she was already sat there so she could just reach down?
This is it.
Yeah, I'm assuming that's what they're getting at here.
The location of your chair bypasses this problem entirely. Towards the vent, all you need to do is set the chair to recline and reach behind you.
Set the chair to recline?
Can they do that?
All the dining hall chairs have the ability to recline. Some were already set to that position at the start of the tournament.
Were they? God, I can't remember that.
Including Ava's.
Oh, okay. Show
With
me.
her chair and recline, Ava can easily reach down and close the vent without shifting from her position.
Guess all it needs is like a little nudge.
It's not perfectly inconspicuous, but it's subtle enough to not catch most people's attention. Especially those focused on watching a video game competition.
True. Pretty much everyone else in that room was not looking in this direction. I doubt Mark was either from his corner.
Well, am I wrong?
Is it time for the argument armament or whatever this Fangam's version of that is?
This isn't funny. Just because I was sitting in front of the vent doesn't mean I was the one who triggered the mechanism.
No one can sneak up behind you without drawing attention. Especially when all the lights were still on.
That's just dumb! Where I was sitting shouldn't make me a murderer.
Even so, with everything we've spoken about...
You're kind of the only possibility right now.
Everything? Did you already forget what was said earlier? Just look at all the items I would need to set up this murder. The battery, the extension cord, the rolling pin, the taser, the syringe, and the supposed drug used with it. How could I have collected all of those things? Wolfgang and everyone else hated me because I lied about my talent. They were on their guard whenever I was around. You think Jet and Desmond would just let me walk into their rooms and take their stuff?
That's true. We still haven't explained how she robbed 2 people's rooms without being caught.
Unless you can prove I had the chance to get all this stuff, you can't make me out to be the killer.
Fine. I'll show proof. Only you could obtain the items necessary for this murder.
Okay. What are we doing now? How did she do it? Ava had my blackmail, she had Desmond's blackmail. Ava asked nicely. Ava had a hunch. Did she blackmail someone? Did she use that as leverage? Maybe?
I got it.
Oh, Desmond.
Ava, you were well aware of the existence of those items. For starters, everyone heard about Jet's battery. It was common knowledge due to his boasting.
Wait, so it's all my fault? Ouch.
Since the doors aren't locked, you could have easily snuck in and grabbed the battery while no one was inside. The battery is lightweight too, so you wouldn't have trouble carrying it. For the rest of your plan, the syringe and drugs are both readily available in the pharmacy. And as for the taser, you may not have known about its existence right away, but you still had every incentive to search Desmond's room, because you received his blackmail.
You're just going to reveal that now.
Eva? You knew my blackmail this whole time and never said anything?
So what?
Huh?
So what if I knew? I wasn't the only one. Damon knew your blackmail as well.
Because you told me. You can try and pin this on me now.
Oh, yeah. He read it out loud to everyone earlier, didn't he?
Damon knew almost everything I did. He knew where the items used in this murder were stored. He knew the layout of the boiler room and the storage closets. He knew all sorts of things.
Oh, she's trying to turn this on Damon now.
The only thing he didn't know is the one thing more important than any piece of physical evidence.
The hell are you talking about?
See, you still don't know. You still don't know that we never saw eye to eye.
Huh?
Eye to eye... on the not killing each other stuff?
On Wolfgang. Damon saw the way Wolfgang scolded me and treated me like a bad guy, and he thought I hated him the same way he did. But unlike Damon, I never wanted Wolfgang to die.
Oh, she's full on trying to put it on us.
What the?
Whoa! That's a loaded accusation.
It sure is.
Not a first for this trial.
If you thought you saw the worst of Damon after the dummy trial, you underestimate just how low he can stoop.
Wow. Oh, she's trying to play off everyone's distrust of us now. Okay, let's see how this goes.
I practically risked my life pretending to be his ally. But in return, he let me see the extent of his deceitfulness, which is why I can tell everyone that Damon has Wolfgang's blackmail.
Uh-oh. Yep, I had a feeling it would have been better just to say this up front, Damon, rather than hide it.
Oh, gosh.
Ava, you...
Any reason you didn't tell us this earlier?
Well, I didn't think it was incriminating at first.
Not even when he refused to come forward about it?
Damon, you need to speak up now.
That was weird, but I didn't want to make accusations at the time because it could have just been his ego talking. Only after watching him reject the taser gun over this dumb mechanism he made up did I realize I had potential evidence on my hands.
Damon, do you have your blackmail on you? Don't worry about reading it out loud or anything. Just show the image. That's all you gotta do.
I think you gotta be open here, mate. Did Ava really never trust me? Why then did she disclose so much to me? She was probably setting you up. You were the patsy, buddy. Is this going to be your wake-up call? Your character development? Why did she tell me? It's because I trust you. She was feeding your ego, that's what she was doing. Because she, you know, in that scene she pretty much referred to the fact that she felt a kinship with Damon because he and her were the only ones who spoke out against the rest of the group. She was playing on your ego there, mate. You might want to dial it down a bit. No, this can't be at the forefront of my mind right now. I'm on the cusp of bringing this case to a close. What Ava thinks about me shouldn't matter. What she thinks about me. You took my side way back at the beginning, remember? We were the only people who refused to listen to that lawyer, and you helped solve the mystery behind that whole case. No one thanked you, though. I'm really sorry about how things turned out. She was manipulating you. Oh boy. She's playing on Damon's ego. She was buttering his ego. Oh, Damon, you're so clever. You see things how they really are. And this is where Damon probably is going to get a bit of a lesson out of it. The other students wouldn't have treated you unfairly if it wasn't for me. Damn it. Damn it. This entire time I've been judging the others for how trusting they are, not even realising I was blindly following the words of a stranger. And now, everyone here, they're going to hold this blackmail crap against me, even more than if I'd just come forward earlier. Even so, what choice do I have? No one will let the discussion continue unless I tell the truth. Yes, be open.
Fine. I'll show it. But only the picture. As requested.
With those words, I retrieved the envelope from my pocket and pulled out the photo.
He's married?
Ingrid, Wolfgang doesn't have blue eyes.
So, who is this then? His parents?
I chuckled at that, but to be honest, I think I also hadn't been paying attention to Wolfgang's eye colour initially, and did think it was him at first.
I mean, why else would the guy look like him?
Given the year this photo was taken, these two people must be his parents. Look at what's printed at the bottom. April 17th, 2001. We know how old Wolfgang is because of the student reports. In 2001, he wasn't even born yet.
But why his parents? Are they being held against their will?
You can't leave us hanging, Damo! You gotta read out what it says!
That's not what was asked of me. And even if I had to, I don't think someone who can't explain himself should have his secrets revealed to everyone.
Some things are better left unsaid.
For the record, I know what Wolfgang's blackmail says, but it didn't change my outlook on him. I don't think it's possible for anyone to hate someone like Wolfgang. He was always brave in the face of sheer adversity, and encouraged everyone else to act likewise. Wolfgang challenged me to be a better person. Wolfgang challenged all of us to be better people. And maybe Ava simply couldn't rise to his challenge.
Don't listen to him! He's trying to divert everyone from the truth!
Even though Wolfgang and I didn't always see eye to eye, my respect for him and his talent never wavered.
Yes, you need to take the offensive a bit here, Damon, I think. You need to not only butter people up in this way, I think you also need to challenge them and say, hang on, in light of everything we've discussed here, if you're now thinking it's me, then you're going to need to explain exactly how all these pieces we've discussed, how I could have engineered them.
Why would someone like me harm him? Me, who's been leading this trial much the same way he led the one before. I may have questioned the idea no one here would kill, but that doesn't make me someone who wants to see bloodshed.
He does! He does want bloodshed! We have all the proof he's a cold-blooded killer! Wolfgang's blackmail, which he lied about having!
She's clutching at straws now.
But wasn't Damon playing?
Nothing he says should be trusted. Nothing he says about me, or anything else.
Yeah, it's the desperate ploy.
It is odd that we place faith in a man who does not have faith in us. So much so, these discussions are mostly led by his own conjecture.
Damon isn't the killer, though. Why would he try to mislead anyone? Like, he and I were playing a game when the murder happened, and multiple people can vouch for us.
Not to mention, the things he's been saying make a lot of sense.
Truth has no personal alliance. That's why.
Even if he wasn't here, we'd arrive at the same conclusion anyway.
Depends who you mean by we.
No. Still people who doubt.
Then, you all still think I'm the killer?
Someone needs to be voted by the end of this.
Don't just say it like that.
Okay, here comes the breakdown. Feels like every person in a Danganronpa trial, when you get towards the end of it, they always have some kind of breakdown as they get cornered and realise that the jig is close to being up.
Yes! My ears!
How would I know? How would I know when to drop it?
Drop what?
The battery! Damon says the killer dropped the battery when Diana was already in the boiler room. But how would I know when Diana was in the boiler room?
A fair question. I have a feeling it's argument armament time. And we're about to bust this open.
It's not as if I could listen out for her. The music speakers are too loud. And the dining hall has no clocks, so it'd be impossible for me to know if it was 8:45 a.m.
Right. Only Mark's DJ pad had a clock.
Maybe Ava asked Mark for the time.
She never spoke to me.
We never spoke! I never even got up from my chair! Besides, how could I be sure Diana arrived on time anyway? If you can't explain how I knew when to drop the battery, then shut up and stop accusing me!
Ava makes a decent point. How did she drop the battery in time? Did she just rely on chance? No, that doesn't seem likely. Her entire plan fails if the timing isn't right. Come on, think. If my years of debate have taught me anything, I need to look at this from another angle. Just take it from the top, while assuming Ava is the killer. Oh. How did she know? She checked the time, she guessed. She heard Diana enter. She saw Diana enter. Well, just established she can't have heard. So... saw? Maybe? Could she have seen through the vent? Obviously she can't check the time, unless she's using the DJ pad. I have to think guessed can't have been it. So saw, maybe?
I got it.
Yeah. Process of elimination.
The only way the killer would have known when to spring their trap was by seeing Diana enter the room. Any uncertainty would ruin the plan, and the dining hall was too loud to hear anything over.
So where did she watch Diana from? There are only two possible places. The vent, I'm guessing? Through the vent? Is that what we're saying?
Trying to look into the boiler room through the vent is impossible.
Okay, never mind, it's not that. Where would she have seen? That's a good question. So, where did she watch Diana from? Okay, I was thinking maybe the shaft would be small enough so you could just sort of get a slight angle. But apparently not. Where are we saying then? From... No, I can't even click those boxes. From... where? Oh, from No, not for the security camera, that can't be it. Shit, I just need to spitball, because I'm running out of time. No, definitely no connection there. Shoo, I'm having another moment. Where would she have looked from? I'm trying to think. Was there something over here that it just messed up then? Well, it can't be from the generator. That'd make no sense. Oh, what? Did I run out of time? Oh shit, I wasn't paying attention to time. Crap, let me try that again. Hold on. At least I can keep trying, it just means my score at the end of this isn't going to be as good. Wait, hang on, so... Well, if she's up in the room, then... How would she have known when Diana entered? Because we can't click the door. I'm just going to click things. No, it can't be that. What, is it the security camera? But that... we don't have access to those.
This is it.
What? Wait, what?
It's
What?
impossible to see anything from the vent, which means the only way anyone could see into the room.
Wait, explain this. Wait, hang on. What? Huh?
Was by using the school cameras.
Do we have access to the school cameras? How would that work? Okay, you're gonna have to explain it to me.
Say what?
I don't understand how, but Ava must have used the camera.
Is she working with the kidnappers?
Are you kidding me? How the hell would I have access to the camera?
Is it something to do with the security camera's light? Because it said, didn't they say it has a light on it? Does the light flash when someone comes into the room? Something like that? Is that it? In order to actually see what was happening on the security cameras, what would Ava need access to? Naturally have to be some sort of screen. A screen, huh? Thinking back on all the various clues we've discussed, I can't pinpoint anything which could provide an answer to that question. Huh. Feels like deja vu, doesn't it? When all other options are ruled out, I can only turn towards the one which still remains. One thing we've yet to discuss. What have we not discussed? It's time I bring an end to what you started. For better or for worse, this will be your final lie. Huh. Wait. The trinkets, maybe? Did the trinkets tell everyone... Did they give people a live update on where everyone is positioned? Based on what the security cameras are picking up? Maybe? I don't know. Time to solve the final piece of the puzzle. However, it won't be without a fight. Argument altercation, okay, there we go. This game, you and opponent battle each other in a bullet hell extravaganza. Dodge your opponent's attacks, shoot down their arguments, and solve the case. Okay, use WASD keys to move, spacebar to fire noise bullets. Oh, did we do this in the prologue? I think we did. And it may have been quite fun. Focus by pressing left shift, which will slow the battle temporarily. Okay. Opponent will fire their own bullets, so be sure to use your ability strategically to avoid damage. They also make statements of their own, which will appear as orange text. Oh, they also start the game with a shield, meaning they cannot be damaged by any means. Or not, you can weaken their shield by breaking the statements with your bullets. Breaking the statements also charges your Mega Bullet. You want to press the F key to fire that one. Why? Well, it's the only way to damage your opponent. If you miss, don't worry, just break more statements in order to recharge your Mega Bullet. After a certain amount of hits, you'll progress to the next stage of battle and your opponent will become more frenzied and their attacks even wilder. Once they finally run out of HP, your opponent will then ask you their burning question. Press WASD in the correct order to solve the case, in other words that'll probably be a phrase, won't it? If you fail, you have to start over from the last stage of battle. However, losing all of your HP will force you to restart from the very beginning, so I suggest you don't do that. It's quite a lot of information, so feel free to press F2 in order to refresh yourself. Let's say have fun, but your life actually depends on it, so get going. Altercation time, bullet hell me up, baby. Oh, here we go. Right, oh god, here we are. Oh, shit, gotta be careful. What?
Who cares about the camera?
Gotta shoot this.
There's no proof I killed Wolfgang. It's Damon who's suspicious.
Shit.
This
That's
isn't fair.
Ow.
I just
Oh god.
wanted to help.
Is my bullet ready? Hold on, wait for it to move.
This isn't fair.
Oh, you
There's no
beggar.
proof I killed Wolfgang. I didn't see
Shit.
anything. Why would I kill anyone?
This is a new one, isn't it? This is.
This isn't fair.
Hold on, it's nearly there. Hold up, hold
I
up.
didn't see any. Why would I kill anyone? Who cares?
Shit. Get it like that.
You
I'm
just
losing a
wanted
bit of
to help.
HP here, which is. Ow! Oh god.
There's no proof I killed Wolfgang.
God. Okay,
Why would I kill anyone? This isn't fair. I didn't
God, watch out for
see
those
anything.
bullets spreading. Ooh.
Why would I kill anyone?
Okay, I got that one. Ow. Right.
It's Damon who's suspicious.
Right, move.
I just wanted to help.
Got her again. Ow, ow, ow.
I didn't
God.
see anything.
God, I'm
Who
losing
cares
HP
about the
way
camera?
faster than she is. Good lord. That's a bit of
would
an
I kill
alarming
anyone? I just
thing.
wanted to help.
Shit. Okay, just gotta take my
This
time.
isn't fair. Why would I kill anyone?
Ow.
It's Damon who's
Oh, God.
I didn't see anything.
Oh god, I got her again, but I'm losing stuff. I'm
I
losing
thought
HP.
you trusted me.
Oh, don't pull that one.
Who cares about the
Oh
camera?
god, what? We're upside down now?
Damon who's
Oh, hell
suspicious.
no.
Who
Oh,
cares
you
about
beggar.
the camera?
I did not like that. I'm low on HP now. Oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god. I'm dead. Shit. Oh god, right, this is gonna get challenging, isn't it? Cripes. Alright, I need to use both hands here, I think. Oh god dang it, reset to the beginning. Because of course that was the last stage. God, I'm not typically great at these kind of things. Get it like that, there we
Who
go.
cares about the camera? I didn't see
Ooh.
anything.
Oh god, it's so easy to hit things without meaning to. Ooh.
Why would I kill anyone?
God, how long does it take to actually charge up the thing? Not long actually, I could be firing it way quicker, couldn't
I
I?
didn't see anything.
It's nearly there, one more.
I didn't see anything. Damon,
Okay, now I'm getting
I
the hang
thought
of it.
you trusted me.
Gotta stay close when you shoot the bullet.
I
The mega
just
bullet.
wanted
Oh no,
to
don't do
help.
this!
I didn't see
God, turn it
anything.
round! Turn it round!
Why would
I hate it
I
when it goes
kill
up, down, down like that. Ooh.
This isn't fair.
Taking a
Why
bit of
would
damage,
I
need to be
kill
careful.
anyone?
Shit! Oh god, I hate those bullets, they're so hard to avoid. Oh my god, no, 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 no! No, 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 no! I hate this. No! Stop!
Just wanted to
Ugh.
help. It's
Never mind what I
Damon
said
who's
about
suspicious.
liking this mechanic, I don't like it anymore.
This is who cares about the camera?
Crap.
Who cares
Ooh.
about the camera?
Ooh.
I just wanted to
Right,
help.
stay in
Who
one
cares
position for
about
now.
the
Ow!
camera?
Right, hold
Why
on.
would why won't you believe me?
Oh. Is there still a stage?
It's Damon
Yeah,
who's
there is.
suspicious.
Oh god, just still got
I just wanted to
half-ish.
help. It's
Right.
Damon who's suspicious.
Oh, what the hell?
This isn't fair.
Oh, what the hell is this? No! You can't freaking send bloody homing bullets at me! That's
Who
cheating!
cares about the camera?
No.
There's no proof I killed Wolfgang.
Hey!
Damon who's
Nope.
suspicious. Why
God,
would
just
I
hold
kill
on.
anyone? There's no proof I
Oh, not
killed
this again!
Wolfgang.
Oh god. I feel like it's hard to avoid those. Ugh.
I just wanted to help.
God, the fucking birds! Get out of here!
There's
Stop!
no proof I killed Wolfgang. I didn't see anything.
Right, she's nearly down. Oh,
How
I
could I access the security camera?
Ava's personal game console?
It's Damon who's
What?
suspicious. I didn't see anything.
Did I not press that fast
Why would
enough?
I kill anyone?
Oh god dang it!
Why?
Oh what? It's like this
Damon
far?
who's suspicious.
God dang!
I kill anyone.
Oh no, no, not
There's
this.
No proof I killed
You can't shoot the
Wolfgang.
birds.
It's Damon
Oh
who's
come on.
suspicious.
She's nearly there, she's nearly down. Oh fucking
Wanted
missed.
to help.
God
I
dang!
just wanted to help.
Right, hold on,
Who
I'm nearly
cares
there.
about the camera?
Crap, I got that, ow!
Proof of-
Oh, come on!
Who cares about the camera?
I hate. Oh!
It's Damon
Oh
who's
god,
suspicious.
so many bullets!
I didn't see
Shit!
anything. Who cares?
Never mind you not being able to see anything, I can't see shit.
could I access the security
Ava's
camera?
personal game console.
Ava.
Really?
You know the truth.
No! Don't kill me!
I guess it's only certain buildings that you can actually go into. I think number 9 might actually be there. That's number 3. Hold on. Number 9. Oh, okay, wait, hold on. I think it was this way. So it's number 4 there. And I think number 9 you sort of went to a little bit of an alleyway. That's where you needed to be. Right, so we should be able to. Oh, here we are. Number 9. Over there, we're just going to let him do his thing. So we went to floor 11, and that was where we saw that door that was all duct taped up. We also wanted to go to floor 13 as well, because I don't think we went to there, did we? Right. Man, I feel like we're going to be here on this island for a good few episodes. Alright, so where was the door that was all taped up? It was this one, wasn't it? Or was it? Oh yeah, it wasn't this one. Okay, right. Machete out. Let's do this. See what the deal is.